Hey, good evening, folks. Hey, Carpo here. You ready? Ready? All right, it's time. We're going to talk about something here. We're going to talk about flowers. Now, I don't know how much research each one of you have done or how much you know about flowers, but according to many hypotheses and research, there was a time when fungus ruled the earth, which is not really a hypothesis, it's more of a fact, but everything's a hypothesis when science is changing every day. So, when there was just fungus on the earth, it was easy to reproduce and create the spore. Spore is amazingly resilient. I mean, you can send spores through space, and they've been shown that they can survive, as well as many other seeds and plants. But sometime afterward, way later, the first flowers appeared. And the first flowers are very simple looking. You can look up the info. Just Google the first flowers. It's something amazing. And flowers are not just beautiful. They're beautiful for a reason. That reason is to attract bees and animals. And what led me into this was I was thinking earlier about fruit and how beautiful fruit is. Thinking about strawberry and how gorgeous and easy to eat it is. And I made a video about how it just beckons and, it's just like, eat me. Like so many beautiful, delicious vegetables and fruits. And I know most people probably don't think about this. Excuse me. But why do these things do this? Why does fruit taste good? Wouldn't it have some sort of a natural tendency to develop a resistance to creatures eating it? Well, a lot of plants have. They develop bitter tastes. They look bad. You can tell by looking at them. You shouldn't eat them. Certain berries, we just know. And animals know. And flowers, on the other hand, they attract bees. They want bees to spread, the pollen. And not only that, but they've developed characteristics to look like the animals and the insects. And it's phenomenal. I mean, it's beautiful. If you've ever seen a bee land on, like an orchid, it's just the most elegant thing. When bees land on certain flowers, you'll push they'll land on a petal and it'll push the pistil down and pollinate the bee's butt. So when it goes to the next similar flower, it does the same thing. These flowers have developed the ability they're basically alive in the sense of they're basically like animals in that sense, kind of like a Venus flytrap, somewhere in between. Plants have a consciousness, so they're able to develop these new traits, but people try to explain it away through the Darwinian theory of mutation, and mutation just can't explain to me these things, and that's why I just can't buy it. Mutations are fine and dandy, and if they work, they work. But how does something develop a mutation that looks like a plant, like an animal, or looks like a plant? And it trips me out because fruits, the reason why they taste good is because they want to be eaten, and they want to be eaten so the seeds can go through your digestive system because they've developed some way to resist your acid in your stomach with their coating, and then you poop them out, and they grow somewhere else, or that's the idea. Of course, now they go down the drain. But this is how nature gets around. Nature gets around through animals and the wind and the water. And it's just awesome how it develops these certain characteristics that make it either look like, what about the animals that look like plants, or like what a walking stick, or the leaf insects? They look like half a leaf or something. It's just crazy. What about chameleons? Somebody gonna tell me that chameleons just developed this weird mutation and they were somehow able to change their skin color to fit their surroundings? It's an amazing adaptation, and I can't explain the consciousness from which it comes. But my analysis here was just mainly on flowers and fruits, because these blossoms, the flower itself blossoms and allows the bees to take the pollen, go from flower to flower. The sole purpose of the flower is to create more life. By creating a flower, they're transferring pollen, they're reproducing and making new seeds, new plants, and the flower then turns into the fruit. And so first comes the flower, then come the fruit. And then we have this big, beautiful thing. It's like a double whammy. You have a beautiful flower to look at, and then you have a beautiful fruit to eat. And the way that they have adapted certain characteristics to suit us, and it's not like we've worked a way to like vegetables. Vegetables have worked to a way that we enjoy them. They want us to enjoy them, so we can create new life. And the flower itself is just phenomenal. I mean, I just can't get over it. It's a very elegant creation, and I don't really know what the end may be. I honestly have a very high respect for mushrooms. I know a lot of people may not know exactly, mushrooms just sound like, ooh, mushrooms, fungi, fungus. Mushrooms reproduce through spores, and the mycelial mat that spreads out through the ground. And they have their own way of growing, and they have their own consciousness too. It's like a neural network. They've been proven to send information from one side to the other side of the mountain. And I'm sure flowers are the same way, and trees. And they'll tell them when to bud. If one starts budding and it's too early and the weather comes in, they'll tell the other ones, through some sort of a force, one of those vibratory rays. And I don't know where we'd be without flowers. I mean, they're just awesome. I'm sitting right next to these blueberry and strawberry plants, and they're like, the blueberry plant has these little tiny flowers, and then they turn into these beautiful big berries, and then a bear comes along and grubs them. I hope a bear doesn't come in my yard, but a bear comes along and eats it and plants another seed somewhere else, and it continues its journey. In this way, the plant is conscious. I guess my whole point is that this is why I don't buy the theory of random evolution through mutation or a chance universe. It took me years to really get myself convinced of this, and I wasn't trying to convince myself. I was just trying to know the truth of what was going on. And the more I looked into the tightly woven pattern of life, the more I couldn't dismiss all of the odd things. The reduction of the eyeball. An eyeball doesn't just appear out of the blue. How does it come to be? What creates an eyeball? What creates the human? The heart, all the organs. You can't have a human body with one organ missing. You have to have all of them. Couldn't just appear out of the blue. So creationism often explains it away, and then other people have reincarnation and cosmic consciousness and collective consciousness. All the different beautiful ideas of what it is could never fathom the truth, because while we sit here and talk about these things, we know that there's no real explanation. There's no way in human language to express what the ultimate is. So go out and pick a flower and just look at it. Just look at how amazing it is. And look at it again for the first time, as if you're a kid. Because I think we lose that childhood wonder, and we tend to pass by even a dandelion and think, ooh, it's a weed in my lawn. I love dandelions too. Every flower, every plant, gorgeous. Peace out.